Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in internet world. Welcome to another edition of Golden Independence. Another beautiful day with the billionaires play in Bermuda. The world's best kept secret, the jewel of the Atlantic. Mm, Enjoying the weather, the natural rainwater. Tanks are filling up. The way how the rain is coming today, it reminds me of how we're positioned with BitHarvest. It's like a little drizzle, and then eventually it'll be a waterfall. When you have access to natural resources, we have access to the hardest money in the world, which is Bitcoin, and we're getting that every day. Give us a thumbs up if you like the content, if you like what you're hearing. It really helps out the channel. It's something that you could do for free. It lets the algorithm know that people are watching the video. You know, it's a very easy thing you could do to support. At the same time, I'm documenting my journey. Yeah. So hey, I'm coming up. I'm coming up to my anniversary for BitHarvest real soon. I can't believe that in a short period of time, I would have been in BitHarvest for a year. That's incredible to me. It's coming. It's coming. I got involved with BitHarvest in May. It's February right now. It's February right now, and May is right around the corner. March, April, May, 3 months in another 90 days. I could say this: when you adapt your mind 90 days at a time, and you focus on 90 days. You know, you take the year 90 days at a time, and you focus on uh improving yourself 90 days at a time. The year goes by very quickly, very quickly. The benefit of that is that you're improving your if you're improving yourself, you see the improvements over the period of 90. You could see the improvements over 90 days. When you look back at it, it's like, oh wow. you know I mean, to be involved. I'm coming up on my first year anniversary with a mining company. Yeah, longevity matters, loyalty matters, and we are going to be rewarded quite handsomely. Um, so yeah, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Yes, I see the numbers growing. I see the numbers growing. Want to welcome all my new subscribers to the channel. And I hope you guys are doing your research regarding BitHarvest and dollar cost averaging, and seriously considering to acquire income producing assets that produce the best asset on the planet right now. Consider that. Once you get your education up to the point where you need to acquire as much satoshis as possible, when you get that in your framework, then you'll just be, I need to be in every sort of Bitcoin program possible and try to convert as much as I can of what's left over into Bitcoin. Um, you know, like the way how I'm moving now, in terms of paying yourself first, I'm investing in my health. Health is wealth. If you're not healthy, right? If you're not up to par, you know, up to a certain living standard, then you're only hurting yourself. How are you going to be able to enjoy the wealth of the Bitcoin? See, this is why I'm glad that I'm involved um, with the project called BitHarvest, because right now I'm getting a few dollars a day in my sleep. It's not costing me anything, which means that the revenue that I generate in the traditional world, I can put as much energy, or I could reinvest that energy back into self. Yeah. Back into self to elevate. Yeah. Invest in yourself, because if you are not prosperous, how can you help others? It's like the 7 habits: sharpen the saw. You got to take time to sharpen the saw, right? Yes, we want to be problem solvers for others, but if you don't sharpen that saw, if you don't charge your battery, you're gonna dissipate. Yeah, you won't be as effective. But hey, enough of that. Let's get into what we're here to talk about. And again, this isn't financial advice. I'm documenting my own Bitcoin journey. Yeah. And there's something that people need to understand regarding Bitcoin, and that is the supply, right? There is going to be a supply shock, and it's coming. And as someone who's not an analyst, I consider myself, I mean, I am not the smartest person when it comes to Bitcoin. However, but I am smarter than the average person in my own jurisdiction, because the average person in my jurisdiction, they don't even know about Bitcoin. They know nothing. And anybody who does know, they've just heard the name, but they don't know about it. They don't know how to differentiate from Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And if you're able to differentiate between Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that's a leap. That's a leap in and of itself. Yeah. But there are some people who are engaged in crypto, but they still don't understand what crypto even is. They're just playing with it, gambling. Yeah. But let's talk about the supply of Bitcoin and how it's going to affect the price real soon. Okay. When you look at the amount of Bitcoin that's even on the exchanges, this is what you have to realize, ladies and gentlemen. The Bitcoin that's being held on exchanges, that's not going to be sold when the price starts, even when the price starts moving, going up. Those, you see, those are people's bags that they're waiting. Though they are waiting for the 1 million, they are waiting for the 10 million. It's people. It belongs to the retailers, right? People like you and I, though they are waiting for Bitcoin to reach 1 million, waiting for 10 million, possibly. Or some are just holding. We don't know what people are doing with the Bitcoin, but however, we know what we know that they're not willing to sell at no 1 million, and they're not going to sell at 10 million either. So we may see, approximately 2 million coins, but how many of those coins are going to move when Bitcoin starts to go up to 1 million, right? When the OTC, or picture this, when the over-the-counter market starts to dry up, right? Because as more nations, countries, sovereign wealth funds, cities from all over the world, and then you have, after the cities, it's the 2,000 billionaires, the private firms around the world, right? When you consider the over-the-counter market, because the over-the-counter market does not affect the price. So Bitcoin is being moved, right? Is being sold, but they're being sold over the counter. This is an important factor to take into consideration, and we have to allow for this time period to play out, because it's not going to last long, right? And what is the over-the-counter market? The over-the-counter market is being supplied by the miners. Right now, it's approximately 450 Bitcoin per day are being sold. Are being mined. And yes, these exchanges, they're sitting on stockpiles. It's stockpiles, right? And for now, they are able to facilitate the micro strategies and the black rocks for now, right? For now. But when these states who are changing the laws, or getting their laws prepped to have a strategic reserve within their own state, I believe it's like 30 states. It's 30 states already that have approved a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So even if the United States on the federal level doesn't do it, individual states are going to do it. The municipalities within the United States, within those states, are getting ready to do it. And when they start to enter the OTC market, this is when the supply shock is going to happen, and we're going to enter the banana zone, because there's going to be less Bitcoin available in the OTC market, which means that they're going to have to go to the exchanges, which also means that the price is going to tick up. It's going to tick up. And as we get higher and higher and higher, people are going to sell less and less of their Bitcoin until they get to, hey, maybe 100 million. But like, what is your number for one Bitcoin? Like if you bought in at 50,000, at 60,000, 70,000, I don't think 500,000 is your price. Maybe 5 million for one, right? This is what I'm saying. When we start to go beyond 1 million, when we start to go beyond 1 million per coin, there's going to be so much liquidity provided, and so many buyers, international buyers from around the world. It's not just the US. It could be Australia. It could be Europe, Japan. When we take these things into consideration, believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a glorious day. As Michael Saylor would say, you know, our enemies will enrich us. Well, the corporations, the nations, the sovereign funds, they are going to enrich us. The new miners, the new wave of the miners, we are going to be the ones who will supply the next level of the OTC market. Consider that. Consider this. We are going to be the new OTC market, because the OTC market is supplied by the miners. So if you're involved with cloud mining and you're mining Bitcoin, we will be the ones who will supply OTC market. And we will be the ones who the banks will be attracting. Hey, if you just park some Bitcoin or some Satoshis here, we'll give you a certain percentage return on just for holding. Just for holding. We'll give you a percentage just for holding your Bitcoiner. And that will also add to the increase of Bitcoin's price point, because when you're able to leverage Bitcoin, that's still a form of hodling, because you're not selling it, you're leveraging it. So Bitcoin isn't being sold, it's being it will be levered. So as you're holding it, and people, and if you're holding it in a bank and other entities and people, institutions, whether it's a retailer or institutional buying, the Satoshis are going to increase. So your $1,000 of Satoshis may one day be valued at 100,000. And a lot sooner than we think. I can't see 10 years. I think people are saying 10 years because you want to play things down, right? How can things be moving this fast, right? How can things be moving this fast in this short period of time in terms of government regulations? It's like such a quick turnaround within a year. It was just last year that it seemed like we were going to enter another point. It was like it was going to be a choke point 3.0 for cryptocurrency, for the cryptocurrency market. And then as soon as that tide turned to where a Bitcoin president of the so-called free world is now at the head and making changes. Now we see things being done at a rapid clip, and we have to be mindful of this. We have to be mindful. We have to take these things into consideration. Look how fast things are happening, even with AI. Even with AI, how fast things are being moving, being incorporated, being blended into the crypto world. Well, in case you haven't noticed, in case you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, $1 still gets you approximately 1,000 satoshis. And if you've been watching the same programs, the same channels, not programs, the same channels that I've been watching, then you've heard about when one satoshi reaches $1. And you've also heard when that will be 100 million. $100 million Bitcoin is coming. Now, do I feel it's coming next year or within the next 4 years? No. I don't think 100 million is coming in the next 4 years. I do think it's coming within 10 years. In 10 years, we would have 100 million. When we go through 2 more cycles, when it's only satoshis left for the mining, because that's where we are. We're at the satoshi level now. We're at the satoshi level now. This is why I said to be involved with BitHarvest now, even if you don't do anything, you ain't gotta build up your farm. You'll be free with just one share booster. A share booster, not even a full booster, one share, 1/10 of a BitBooster that you can earn at 100 million. You'll be free. 100 million Bitcoin, you're free. Your entire legacy is free. $100 one-time purchase with crypto, and you don't need Bitcoin. You use crypto. This is how you know that this is the real deal opportunity. You use crypto to get Bitcoin. Use crypto to get Bitcoin. That's what they're not telling you. If a project is if you need Bitcoin to get involved with the project wants the Bitcoin. With this project that I'm involved in, that I'm sharing with people, and I'm telling you, if you want the lifetime legacy, set it, forget it, easy, and you ain't gotta worry about no group, you ain't gotta worry about going into the app and changing your money over. Although it's a nice skill set, it keeps you active. I get it. But you know what? Life is meant to be lived. And we don't want to consume all of our time with these things, because there are a lot of moments that we can miss. It's important to keep ourselves in the game, to get the right information, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of misinformation out there, people. I would just encourage people to continue to break through, continue to get to your 100 hours of study regarding Bitcoin, so that you can be 10 toes down and firm in the conviction of why Bitcoin. So when anybody comes to you with any other opportunity, any other project, you can listen to them. But you could then educate that individual as to why they should use whatever they're bringing to you to get more Bitcoin. Because if they're involved with Bitcoin, I mean, if they're involved with the project or new meme coin or some other opportunity, and they're like, yeah, I'll get Bitcoin later. All right, cool. If they say that if the end goal is to get Bitcoin, hey, leave them alone. Because that's the goal. The goal is to get Bitcoin. But if they're using, or if they're in a crypto to think and thinking that that next crypto element is going to be, is what's going to feed them for, you know, for legacy, then people like that, they're missing it. They're missing it. Because there is going to be no other project like Bitcoin that's going to be legacy. That's going to be here when you are gone. It's incredible. And I feel extremely fortunate for being in this time and space. But hey, look into the supply of Bitcoin. Consider that the coins that are on the exchanges, they are not moving, and they're not going to, like, because here's the other thing too. Not everybody has ledgers, right? They have them on the exchanges for a reason. Yes, they're looking to sell, but hey, that doesn't mean that they're going to sell at 100,000. That doesn't mean that they're going to sell at $1 million. When it reaches $1 million, doesn't mean that they're going to sell. We might start seeing some movement at 10, but however, by that time, if they're selling 10 million, I mean, you're only selling if you do have Bitcoin, maybe a couple of hundred Bitcoin, even 50 Bitcoin. If it goes to 10 million, you're just selling one coin. You could sell one coin, and that one coin at 10 million I mean, that will keep you for the next 10 years, just one Bitcoin. And imagine sitting on something like 10 or maybe 50 Bitcoin. Because you have some people who have 10 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to 10 million. You could sell one Bitcoin for the next 10 years. You could live off that amount of Bitcoin. And as time goes on, progresses, if you're selling Bitcoin 10 years at a time, that's legacy right there. They won't have to do anything. Or how about quite possibly by that time they won't have to do any selling anyway. They still won't have to sell it. They could leverage that one Bitcoin at 10 million. They still don't have to sell. They're leveraging it. You'll be able to leverage the Bitcoin. See, this is why it's important to get involved with the opportunity like BitHarvest, because you're not going to get Bitcoin from these exchanges. The price is, the price is just going to go up, and then it's going to frustrate you. BitHarvest gives you the opportunity to be the market. You become a market maker. Why? Because you have the asset. 100 million. When it goes to 100 million, some of us will be making tens of thousands of dollars per day. Some of us. When one Bitcoin reaches 100 million, this is being talked about, whether it's in the next 10 years. I believe it'll be in the next 10 years. It'll be much sooner than later. $100 million Bitcoin, 10 years, tens of thousands of dollars per day. But before you get 100 million, what about the run up? See, we're going to be free a lot sooner. And that's what keeps me encouraged 90 days at a time. If I'm going 90 days, that's what keeps me, that's my vitamin. I'm attacking the next 90 days. I'm attacking life 90 days at a time. We're approaching the end of March. We're approaching the third month. The third month of the first quarter. The first quarter is about to be over real soon. Real soon. And what you gonna do? Where you gonna be? I'm getting ready for the second quarter. $1 gets you approximately 1,000 satoshis pretty soon. What you gonna do when it's 1-to-1? And then, hey, I'm gonna be heard. Hey, I told you so. And then BitHarvest is still, and then BitHarvest will be producing tens of thousands of satoshis per day. See, the value isn't there. The amount will still be there. I'm still going to be receiving the same amount. The value is going to go from $2 to 20,000. And for those of us who are already positioned, we'll be celebrating, we'll be traveling, right? We'll be going on our cruises around the world. This is where we live life. This is where we catch. That's when we will be able to catch up. When life becomes so abundant that stress of life doesn't apply. That part of life, when that part of life doesn't apply to you, the stress of bills and you know, the cost of doing business, when you are out of the slave trade, which is the current traditional financial system. When you're out of it. Yeah. But hey, what do I know? But hey, check out the link in the description box below. Continue to study about Bitcoin and position yourself and your family. Thanks for tuning in. Bless up. Stack them sets.